I will be dissecting and sharing my review of Nosferatu, the 2024 movie adaptation from the 1922 silent classic film, and that film was inspired by Dracula. So, as you already know, Dracula is basically the Bible of vampire stories. And I will say that story is more about the slow building dread and all the seductive menace of vampires. Then we have the silent film from 1922. It's a classic that is super atmospheric. Now, in present day, Robert Eggers, the director for Nosferatu 2024, didn't decide to rehash the old stuff. Instead, we got something brand new with a modern twist that keeps the Gothic vibes, but updates it with modern visuals, and it gave us richer emotional depth. So this one is a classic vampire film. However, it is very heavy on the drama. So I just want to let you know, you are not going to get vampire action with this one. You are getting vampire drama with horror, suspense, and lots of dread. But again, it serves up a heavy dose of emotional depth. Now, let's get into the characters. We have Ellen Hutter, a young woman who is living a picture-perfect life with her husband, Thomas. But things start to get really creepy when Ellen starts having these really intense and disturbing visions that turns out to be Count Orlok. Now, Count Orlok isn't just a myth or a legend. He is real, and he is after Ellen. Now, I have to say, what's very unique about the movie is that they really don't make Count Orlok just this one-dimensional monster. Instead, and let me know in the comments if something is wrong with me or if I'm the problem, but I kind of felt that in addition to him being a monster and being evil, we also got a bit of a tragic character as well. Like, you're borderline questioning, is this man lonely? What is going on? Should I feel sorry for him as much as I am terrified of him? So it's really an interesting dynamic. And I found it interesting of making the choice of making him terrifying, but also giving that little sliver of sympathetic edge. Now, what I think the film did brilliantly was the visuals. This film is a feast for the eyes. There's just lots of Gothic architecture. It's the perfect setting and mood. We do get the shadows and the eerie, almost dreamlike landscapes in certain things. I really appreciated it. Plus, we get the modern edge and the modern visuals that really make things pop. I mean, even the classic haunting scenes with the castle and everything, I just really appreciated it. So we got that haunting element. We also got good music that just really creeps under your skin and just makes everything, it was tension filled, and I love the setting. It was perfect. Now, if you're like me, you're probably wondering, how does this stack up against the source material? So Dracula is the original source material. And here's a little tea here. So when the screenplay for Nosferatu was written, right, it was inspired by Dracula, but there was a copyright case against it as well. And actually, Bram Stoker's widow won the copyright infringement case. So needless to say, Nosferatu was inspired from Dracula. So we have to come back to this one, even though the movie was inspired by the original screenplay. So I will say, when it comes to Dracula, we do get that slow creeping terror where, you know, every moment, everything that's happening is designed to build your anticipation. However, in the movie, the director really shakes things up. In the movie, instead of just relying on the suspense, we get the visuals, we get the sounds, and all these things are hitting us really hard and fast. And again, the original movie was a silent film, so obviously you can't compare. Now, the thing with the silent film, which was very silent and shadowy and surreal, this movie, Nosferatu 2024, is more of an immersive experience. You won't feel like you're just watching the film. I felt like I was inside a modern Gothic novel where every scene is just very vivid. And even though we're living in the old world with lots of old world sensibilities, it was very immersive as well. Now, here's the thing. I will say the narrative in general was a bit of a roller coaster. There's some moments that gave us really big highs and really low lows. There's some things that were ramping up and I was expecting, horror, scare, dread. And we did get that. However, there are some moments when I'm just like, intense horror, but then sometimes it's unpredictable because there are other moments where it really slows down. And I'm just like, okay, we are switching gears too much. We're going fast, we're going slow. And it's really hard to sink in with the emotional beats, especially with Ellen's character. I mean, when it comes to Ellen, you see her living like normal moments, but then, of course, she gets the nightmarish visions, and then the tension ratchets up, and it really drives the movie. So, again, I appreciated it, but it was just a bit of a roller coaster ride, very, very uneven. So, getting back to my overall thoughts, I will again reinforce Nosferatu 2024 isn't one of those jump scares, horror, action kind of films. Yes, you do have the terror bits, but it also has moments of just more quiet dread and lots of drama. So there is horror there, but it's more subtle, right? And it's more a feeling you're going to feel after the fact. The film is really, really well done. I felt the cinematography was great. The visuals were great. Again, Count Orlok, very well done. Like, the actor did an amazing job for that. But again, this isn't perfect. So if you're looking for non-stop, heart-pounding vampire action story, this is not it, okay? It's painfully slow in certain areas. It's very artsy. This is more a drama again. So vampire meets drama. So you will get that traditional vampire old school take with a very modern lens placed on it. So it reimagines a classic Dracula. We get the terror that we got in the silent film Nosferatu back in 1922. So this one is just a more modern blend that also feels more of today, but also timeless at the same time. But I'd love to hear from you. I did not watch this one in the cinemas. I waited until it was available for streaming on Peacock. So let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts and your feelings on Nosferatu 2024 movie adaptation? If you read Dracula, how do you think it matches up? But also, if you watch the silent film, I'd love to hear from you too. So let's continue the conversation in the comments.